Hello everyone, welcome to Business School 101. By 1890, the United States had overtaken the British Empire as the world's most productive economy. Until today, it is still widely considered the most technologically powerful and innovative economy in the world. In 2021, of the world's 500 largest companies, 122 are headquartered in the US. In addition, the US has the world's highest number of billionaires. So what is the general business environment in the US? Can we apply Hofstede's cultural framework to analyze American business culture? Do American companies obtain some unique organizational cultures or business etiquettes? In this video, I will discuss these topics with you. Section 1. General business environment. The United States is a highly developed country with a liberal capitalist market economy and has the world's largest nominal GDP and net wealth. It has the second largest GDP by purchasing power parity behind China. According to the data from the World Bank, in 2021, its GDP per capita was $69,287. To give you a better understanding of America's relative wealth level, here is the GDP per capita of some other major economies in the world. Besides the largest size, the United States also has the most technologically powerful and innovative economy in the world. American firms are at or near the forefront of almost every technological advance, especially in the areas of artificial intelligence, computers, pharmaceuticals, medical, aerospace, and military equipment. The US dollar is the currency most used in international transactions and is the world's foremost reserve currency. The largest trading partners of the United States are China, the European Union, Canada, Mexico, and India. The US is the world's largest importer and the second largest exporter. On the Corruption Perception Index, 2021, America ranks 27th out of 180 countries, receiving a score of 67. The scale ranges from 0, highly corrupt, to 100, very clean. For example, Denmark, Finland, and New Zealand equally rank number 1 with a score of 88. South Sudan ranks 180 with a score of 11. Section 2. Hofstede scores. As we covered in the previous video, Hofstede's cultural framework is one of the most widely used tools to analyze a country's culture. Therefore, let's check America's scores in Hofstede's 6-dimension cultural framework. Please keep in mind Hofstede's score on each dimension is on a scale from 0 to 100. Dimension 1. Power distance. Power distance refers to how openly a society or culture either accepts or rejects differences between people, for instance, hierarchies in the workplace, in politics, and so on. The United States maintains a moderately low score of 40 on the Power Distance Index. The American values of liberty and justice for all shine through in the legal system's protection of each person's rights in every aspect of society and government. Therefore, U.S. business culture is typically less formal and less hierarchical than other countries. Employees often address one another by their first name, have greater access to superiors, and exhibit a relaxed approach to dress and communication. Dimension 2. Individualism. The individualism versus collectivism dimension considers the degree to which societies are integrated into groups as well as their perceived obligations and dependence on groups. With a score of 91, the United States ranked number 1 in terms of individualism. American people typically make their own decisions and value the ability to go their own way. This can be seen in the suggestion of the American dream. Identity is found in personal rights and achievements, rather than in groups or relational ties. While the family is significant, it typically only consists of the immediate nuclear family, with exceptions among some ethnic minorities. Dimension 3. Masculinity. The masculinity versus femininity dimension is also referred to as tough versus tender, and it considers the preference of society for achievement, behavior, attitude towards gender equality, and more. The United States, scoring a 62 on Hofstede's scale, maintains higher levels of competition. It is a common belief in the US that people should strive to be the best they can be. Achievement is highly sought after, valued, and talked about. In educational settings, students are taught to strive for success. American students commonly try to outdo each other to stand out above the rest. Even from a young age, American children may be introduced to academically or athletically aggressive competition that fosters this attitude. Dimension 4. Uncertainty avoidance. The uncertainty avoidance dimension considers the extent to which uncertainty and ambiguity are tolerated. This dimension also considers how unknown situations and unexpected events are dealt with. With a score of 46 on the scale, the US is considered a low to moderate uncertainty avoidance culture. As a result, Americans tend to accept changes easily and are typically welcoming of new ideas and innovative products. Furthermore, studies show that workers within American companies are more willing to combat managerial resistance to the advancement of an idea by defying organizational rules, procedures, and norms for the sake of developing the new concept. Dimension 5: Long-term orientation. The long-term orientation versus short-term orientation dimension considers the extent to which society views its time horizon. Long-term orientation emphasizes perseverance and growth. In contrast, short-term orientation focuses on the near future by delivering short-term success and emphasizing the present. With a score of 26, the short-term orientation is very evident in both American social and business cultures. Americans have a reputation for seeking instant gratification and wanting results very quickly. There is a mentality of living in the moment that is only perpetuated by a steady stream of corporate advertising. This generates a relatively pervasive culture of spending rather than saving. Dimension 6: Indulgence. Indulgence indicates that a society allows relatively free gratification related to having fun in life. Conversely, restraint indicates that a society suppresses gratification of needs and regulates it through social norms. With a score of 68, the US is considered a high indulgence culture. Cultures with a high degree of indulgence enjoy life and behave under basic human drives. Therefore, having fun and fulfilling desires is considered natural. People behave and act in ways that lead them to gratification. Naturally, the more basic needs are met, the more fulfilled and happy people feel. However, too much focus on having fun and meeting basic needs may become harmful to the development of character in society. It may also prevent people from focusing on long-term goals and postponing pleasure to achieve more important goals. Section 3: Organizational Culture and Business Etiquette. Here, I would like to discuss the American organizational culture and business etiquette from the following perspectives. 1. Negotiation. To Americans, negotiations are viewed as problem-solving exercises and are based on mutual benefit. Americans generally ask for much more than they expect to ultimately get, keeping some room for negotiation as they go, and their first position may appear outrageous. It is expected that all parties will think for themselves and express their own ideas. Being straightforward and using facts and data are valued. 2. Agreement. Americans would prefer to move quickly to an agreement, which could feel rushed to foreigners. Americans don't feel the need to establish a personal relationship to accomplish the deal and believe time is money. In addition, contracts are legally binding documents. If there are any disagreements later on, the contract will be referred to. Verbal agreements are rarely considered binding. If you are not familiar with the U.S. legal system, make sure to obtain help from a U.S.-trained attorney who is familiar with American business law. 3. Greeting. When meeting an American colleague or client, it's polite to stand and offer a brief firm handshake with eye contact and a smile. This is universally appropriate, regardless of someone's age, gender, or seniority. Employees often refer to superiors by their first names rather than surnames. When uncertain, you may ask how your superior prefers to be addressed or err on the side of formality. 4. Body language. Americans like colleagues who are approachable and friendly and tend to smile more than other cultures. But as a non-contact culture, Americans also prefer having a bubble of personal space. Be mindful not to stand too close when speaking and minimize physical contact. Touching is rarely done outside a handshake, and gestures like hugging are generally considered inappropriate in the workplace. 5. Working hours. A recent business study shows Americans work about 20% more hours than their European counterparts and take fewer days off per year. The standard work week is Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but it varies by company. 6. Communication. Americans' communication style is relatively straightforward. This may seem blunt to some foreigners, but Americans consider straightforward people trustworthy and efficient. Small talk on income, age, politics, and religion is generally considered taboo in American workplaces. Popular small talk topics typically include hobbies, entertainment, sports, or other leisure activities. 7. Meetings. Meetings are typically 30 to 60 minutes, with a clear agenda. Punctuality is important. The boss may arrive late, but reporting employees are expected to be on time. Attendees are expected to actively listen and participate. Remaining quiet or using laptops or phones may be construed as disinterest. 8. Meals and tipping. The host or most senior employee will usually pay for a business meal, but be prepared to pay for your own part just in case. At team lunches, junior employees generally avoid ordering alcohol unless their superiors invite them to do so. Tipping servers is expected. Please leave a tip of 15 to 25% of your bill for good service. 9. Dress. Dress codes vary greatly in America. Employees in finance, accounting, or sales industries tend to dress and speak more formally than those in academia, media, or tech industries. In addition, your corporate culture, field, level of seniority, and even your city's climate will affect workplace dress norms. Since many variables are at play, it's best to ask HR about dress codes when interviewing, and remember it's always a good idea to be slightly overdressed rather than underdressed for a job interview, your first day of work, or an important meeting. Alright, that's all for today's topic. So, what do you think about American business culture? Do you have any related experience or story willing to share? Please leave your thoughts in a comment below. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.